Hello everyone, my name is Manuel Delamore and I am a student here in Independence University. What you see in front of you right now is my Behance profile with projects for my portfolio, which I have done in the past and have reworked and retooled for my current class, my Design 250 portfolio design class. With this being said, we are going to be going through each of these projects and see why I am using them for my online portfolio. And we'll begin with this menu design for Gino's Pizza Shack. Now, with this design, for the colors scheme, I wanted to entice the appetite. And I heard red was a very good color for that. I learned that in color theory. But I didn't want the red to be too strong, too overpowering in your face. So I used a light pastel red color to take up a majority of this space. Now, this color also reminds me of pizza sauce. And what could be more appropriate for a pizza shack, right? Now, there are two other tones of red to add to contrast to keep everything from being mundane. And I also use the darker tone of red to act as a border for the images that are placed on the two inner pages of my menu. The images themselves, of course, are used to also entice the appetite. And as far as the content itself goes, everything is divided and placed in a way that is easy to read and also used to avoid making a mess of things. You don't want anything being too close. You don't want anything being too hard to read, and this is used to provide an easy experience for those looking through the menu. All right, next up we have one of my two brochure designs. This one being for aqua excursions. Now, this is a trifold design, both of them are. And for this one, the theme I wanted to get in mind, I wanted to invoke a sort of relationship with the ocean because, well, the ocean is a good place for kayaking, of course. Now, with that in mind, I wanted to use colors like blue, green, those that sort of have a sea-ish tone to them. But again, I didn't want it to be overwhelming, so I used a paler tinge of those colors. And I think that works out well. Large images are used to draw the eye, as you can see with the front cover and the back cover. That takes up 2/3 of the presentation. The content is spaced evenly throughout. Again, this is to avoid anything being too scrunched up, keeping everything centered. This way it avoids being too close to the edges or too close to the folds. And stepping back into color real quick, as you can see, I also used red and yellow in the header designs and in the address. These colors were used because they are the colors that are actually used in the actual logo itself. I did this to incorporate order, a sense of that everything is connected to each other. This is something that I have done in a majority of my projects, as you will see further on. Now we are moving on to my second brochure, which is the Walmart brochure. Now, you can see, like I said, there's the blue, there's the orange, there's the white, and I incorporated that throughout the design, as you can see. Now, I also incorporated a lot of imagery to tie into its association with the American Heart Association. This means images such as the jogger, the shoe, the design here, and of course the huge walking challenge map that takes up a large chunk of the back here. I did this, well, we did this because it's necessary to draw in the connection with the association so that Walmart shows to the general public that it cares about our well being, our health. And it is doing its part in helping us ensure that we maintain a perfectly healthy style of living while also tying in its own products and business. The challenge, of course, working to bring customers to use their stores as a means to get healthy while also providing its own business with products. Next up, we have a magazine design here. This is for the State Trooper Highway Patrol Police. And again, you see I am incorporating the red and the orange for from the logo. And you can also see that throughout the magazine, I will have incorporated full-page designs to act as advertisements. Here we have the table of contents, and again, the orange and the yellow, while dividing everything evenly to make it easy to read. Here again, we have a full-page advertisement, and now we have the letter from the editor. The content is divided into columns, which is used to make it easy to read, which is also something we learned in class. And here, as you can see, I used large imagery with the headers. Now, the reason I do this is to create a visual representation of what is being discussed in the articles. This is done in a way that makes it easy for the readers to understand what is being spoken of, while also acting as a bit of eye candy to draw in the eye and pique interests. You have a half-page design here, and again, I incorporated a design to fit with the article that is being spoken of at the bottom here. Again, we're incorporating reds and blues with bits of and pieces here. And there's the half-page design with the single column in the end, another full page. And here we have a design of my own, design. This is an advertisement for a subscription to the magazine. And I think it gets the job done relatively well. It works to, it works in a way to help people draw interest in what these officers do. It keeps you informed of their activities, and it helps you, it strives to help you want to get involved with these activities so that you help the troopers and you generally help the general public. All right. Next up, we have a milk carton design. Now, I enjoyed this one because a majority of this is created by myself. I didn't rely on a lot of stock images provided. The only thing that was really provided are the stickers, the barcodes, and such. Now, onto the actual design itself, you have the logo here, which I created myself. Now, for a logo, I didn't want it to be too complicated, but I also didn't want it to be too monotonous also. So I think I did a good job at reaching a middle ground. It's the design takes up a lot of color and to sort of stand out amongst all these other milk carton designs that incorporate a lot of white. course, for different flavors, they will use different colors. And the white I used here is also used to break up the monotony, so it's not just straight up brown. The text provided uses identical text to keep everything related to each other. And I guess that's really all I have to say about that. And finally, we have a tea box design for Lipton tea. Now, I'm not sure if cinnamon spice is a real flavor. I just made it up on the go. But with that being said, I wanted to incorporate the feeling of cinnamon, the warm spiciness it has. That's why I used a predominant amount of red throughout the design. The white text here is provided because it's, in experience, it's easier to read than black. And the imagery you see here in the front cover is to provide association. These flowers here are actually vector designs of the cinnamon flower. So there's that association there. And with that being said, that is my online portfolio. If you find any pieces that you find interesting, then feel free to hop on and take a look at them personally and go through them at your own pace. I will be updating my profile and providing new pieces for you to look through. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys later.